Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Broom, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Broom.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our show number 1092. I want to draw attention to something really important for birds. It's the Farm Bill. It has made it through the House of Representatives, and now the Senate will consider a version of it very soon. We're following our friends from the American Bird Conservancy and asking senators to pass a bill that includes a vital component known as the Conservation Reserve Program. It's a voluntary opportunity available to growers who want to take some of their land out of active production and turn it into much-needed wildlife habitat, while taking advantage of some incentives that would be provided. So, Talking Birds listeners, if you agree with the idea, please visit our website, talkingbirds.com, where you'll find a link to ABC's petition by which you can contact your senators and urge them to pass this bill with this vital component. The petition, by the way, spells out clearly what we're asking senators to do, so you can just enter your name and location, although you can add an additional note if you like. Well, the live version of this week's show is airing on the 31st of May, last day of Plurting Month here at Talking Birds. Plurting is a mashup of the words picking up litter while birding. We think it's a good idea. And so do Matt Collins from Westerville, Ohio, and Goop Wall from Houghton, Michigan. They're our newest proud plurters, pledging to pick up litter while birding. Matt says, honestly, I've been a plurter ever since I began birding. I'm also a herder. That's HIRDER, picking up litter while hiking. Pack in and pack out has been a motto I live by, and when I try to impress upon others, it's super easy to do, and it helps keep our habitats clean and safe. Thank you, Matt. And Goop says, thank you for your consideration involving me in this growing community of plurters, ploggers, and other such environmentalist birders. Well, thank you, Goop. Ploggers, that's picking up litter while jogging. And thanks, Matt and Goop, for becoming official proud plurters. As part of Plurting Month, we've also been asking listeners to send us plurting audio postcards describing something about their plurting experience. And here's one from the Peach State.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I go plurting because it makes me happy, and I genuinely enjoy it. It really does give me a strong sense of community and stewardship in such a fulfilling way. Along with park naturalist Tasha, we usually begin by focusing on picking up litter in the parking lot, but also listening to birds at the same time. And then while we're walking on the trail, we'll focus on birding and pick up any litter that we notice. We usually use long-handled grabbers and reusable buckets. I've been plurting for about a year now, and it really has become the most fulfilling part of my week.
Wow. Thank you, Jasmine, for that delightful description of the rewards of plurting. Thanks to our friend Tasha as well for enabling that. Last day of Plurting Month, although we will, of course, keep on plurting in the months ahead. Right now, what we have here is... There it is. It's our mystery bird. We do a contest every week, playing vocalization like this and giving some clues. This is a preview of the contest. We'll call for the calls a little bit later, but this is kind of a little warm-up here. And in honor of today's show guest, we'll describe in a moment, it's a bird from Texas. It's a small migratory songbird that breeds only in the oak juniper woodlands in the south-central part of the state. The male has a bright yellow face with a black eyeline and a black throat. It has a black back and wings with a single white wing bar. Females are similar, but with subdued plumage, just a few black throat feathers. Our bird winters south of the U.S.-Mexico border, feeding especially on caterpillars in the breeding season, along with other soft-bodied insects and spiders, foraging by gleaning foliage or flying out to capture prey in the air. That would be our mystery bird. And we'll do the contest a little bit later on with some wonderful prizes, including a birding by ear course from Larkwire. Those are the courses that let you master bird sounds and have fun doing it. And from Plain Products, whose mission is to provide clean, sustainable products in reusable aluminum bottles. We have a 4-piece travel set. So all that coming up on the Mystery Bird contest a little later. Time to salute another Talking Birds ambassador helping us get the word out about birds and conservation. And thank you. It's 2 ambassadors. Andrea from North Andover, Massachusetts. Thank you, Andrea. And Ed Sweeney from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Thank you, Ed. Becoming a Talking Birds ambassador is a big deal for us and easy to do for you. If you go to talkingbirds.com and click on the Get Involved tab, you'll see how to do it. Still to come today, we'll talk with Hugh Leake, photographer and guide at El Potrero Nature Photography Ranch in the Coastal Bend area of Texas. Also today, Mike O'Connell will join us for something from Let's Ask Mike Live, something much smaller than Texas. Inchworms will be the topic with Mike. And up next, it's today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photographs, illustrations, and in-depth articles. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com. The word fulvus, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, has never been a common word, and you're most likely to encounter it in 19th century writings. But birders in North America know the word in association with today's featured feathered friend, the fulvus whistling duck. Fulvus describes the bird's butterscotch or tanned leather-hued body plumage, offset by a mostly black back with a dark bill and long, dark legs. With those long legs and a long neck, it's often described as looking more like a goose than a duck, and in certain ways it behaves more like a swan than a duck, as the male helps care for offspring and mated pairs stay bonded over many seasons. In the U.S., fulvus whistling ducks inhabit areas in coastal Texas and Louisiana, as well as central Florida, filter feeding, as northern shovelers do, for invertebrates and the seeds of aquatic plants in rice fields and flooded pastures, and often flocking with the more common black-bellied whistling duck. According to the North American Breeding Bird Survey, fulvus whistling duck populations remained relatively stable overall or increased slightly between 1966 and 2015, although in some parts of its range, agricultural pesticides have caused sharp declines. In the early 2000s, a Southern California population decreased and then vanished, but it's not known if pesticides were the cause of that disappearance. Because whistling duck species frequently roost on branches and some nest in trees, whistling duck species were once known as tree ducks, but ornithologists later moved to the name whistling duck to highlight their most defining characteristic, their shrill, high-pitched whistles. Today's featured feathered friend, Dendrocygna bicolor, the fulvus whistling duck. Welcome again to our show, number 1092. Hugh Leake is the photo site designer and guide at El Potrero Nature Photography Ranch, just south of Kingsville, Texas, not far from the famous King Ranch. Hugh holds a degree in wildlife management from Texas A&M, and he picked up a camera as a tool of the trade He's been taking wonderful bird and nature photographs since 1974 and welcoming visitors since 2021 to El Potrero Nature Photography Ranch. And he joins us now to tell us about the ranch and what visitors will experience there. Good morning, Hugh.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me start off, Hugh, by just asking you, what is a nature photography ranch?
Well, in our case, and there are several properties in the Coastal Bend and Lower Rio Grande Valley areas that have managed to maintain a good percentage of native habitat and are managing their properties to promote diverse species, both birds and reptiles and mammals, as much as they can. And then we have blinds set up specifically with photography in mind. And for instance, at El Potrero, we have 5 photo sites. We constructed a wetland, and we have a blind that we use in the morning that faces west so that the sun is behind us. We have a nice open water in front of us. The blind is sunken down almost to water level so that you're shooting right at eye level with your subjects. We have a similar blind on the other side and down a little ways so that they're not directly across from each other. We use that in the afternoon. It faces east. Then we have another blind where on occasion we provide meat scraps in order to attract vultures and hawks to photograph. That's a morning site. It faces west. The sun will be behind us. We have a big clean area to photograph. We have perches set up for the animals, for the birds to come in and perch on, and a nice clean background. And then we have 2 small water holes that are purpose-built. They're essentially on stages so that they are up almost at eye level when the photographer's sitting at ground level. We have blinds set up at them. They put you, the backside of the little water hole is less than 20 feet from the film plane when you're sitting in the blind. We have a clean background so that you don't have to worry too much about stuff interfering with the background of your image. The backgrounds are generally far enough away that you get a really pretty bokeh. And the perches are arranged so that they look nice and so that the bird will be very close to your eye level when they come in to drink or when they perch on one of the perches.
All right, and there's songbirds, as you say, and shorebirds, and vultures, and caracaras as well, and Harris's hawks. Hugh, I know you may get some complaints from folks saying, well, you're baiting birds, and that's not a natural way to do it. What's your reply to that?
Well, when I put out meat, and it's generally meat that I have procured from one of our local game processors, so it's wild meat. It's not harvested for this purpose, but hunters are harvesting animals. We get the scraps from that. And for the birds that come to that, that is absolutely their natural behavior. If they come across a dead deer, a dead calf, or something like that out on the range, what we attract is exactly what you would see if you came across a carcass. When it comes to the birds that come into our songbird areas, those birds are the same birds that everybody attracts to their backyards with seeds and things like that. Plus, we provide water. In my own backyard, I provide water. I have bird baths, and I have bird feeders, and nobody really yells at me. And then for the wetland, it's the wetland itself that's the main attractant, and we get ducks and we get wading birds. Wading birds come to eat the frogs and things like that. We get deer and javelina coming in. They're coming in to drink. The ducks are eating the submergent vegetation that's there at the wetland. And so part of what we do to attract animals is we simply create habitat that will attract our intended subject species.
Tell us about accommodations and pricing, Hugh.
We don't actually have accommodations on the ranch, but we are less than 15 minutes from where the main hotels and motels are in Kingsville.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I drove from one of the motels to the gate to the ranch, it took me 11 minutes and 11 seconds, and I went exactly the speed limit the whole way, just to get a good number. Our current prices at the ranch are $150 per person per full day, and the full day is from too dark to shoot in the morning until too dark to shoot in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
During the hot part of the summer, we frequently take a little break in the middle of the day, but we also, on full days, will serve a lunch on the property, and then a half day can either be from too dark to shoot in the morning until about 12 or 1 in the afternoon, or from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon until too dark to shoot in the afternoon. And our current price for that is $100 per person.
It's the El Potrero Nature Photography Ranch in Texas. You can find out about Hugh and see some of his great photography if you Google him. It's Hugh Leek, and that's Lieck. And Potrero is Potrero. As you say, we'll put something up on our website and social media pages to make it easier to find. Hugh, thanks so much for telling us about it. It's a fascinating enterprise.
Definitely my pleasure. Nice to get to share this with people. And I love sharing the ranch with people. If you've never shot under these conditions, it can be quite an eye-opener. We will up your game a lot of the time.
Hugh Leek, you're on Talking Birds. Up next, our mystery bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Here we are back at the Mystery Bird Contest. That's our mystery bird. Here's a description. It's a small migratory songbird that breeds only in the oak juniper woodlands in the south central part of the state of Texas. The male has a bright yellow face with a black eye line and a black throat. It has a black back and wings with a single white wing bar. Females are similar, but with subdued plumage, just a few black throat feathers instead of that sharp black throat. Our bird, which winters south of the U.S.-Mexico border, feeds especially on caterpillars in the breeding season, along with other soft-bodied insects and spiders, foraging by gleaning foliage or flying out to capture prey in the air. That's something about our mystery bird and the sound of it. What is that bird? Let us know what you think it is or tell us definitively. In either case, you could be the winner of our beautiful prizes here. No correct answer means a drawing will be conducted to determine our winner. Prizes include a birding by ear course from Larkwire, featuring highly customizable, game-based courses with identification tips from some of the world's best birders and a uniquely effective approach to learning. Well, these are courses that let you master bird sounds and have fun doing it. Our friends at Larkwire like to say the only downside is this might make Mystery Bird Contest too easy for you. But that's a problem you can face later. From Plain Products, that's Plain with an E, whose mission is to provide clean, sustainable products in reusable aluminum bottles, not plastic. Good for your body and the planet. It's a 4-part travel set. That's shampoo and conditioner and body wash and body lotion. Those are our main prizes on our Mystery Bird contest, and if we have time, we'll do a bonus question for a feather-friendly bird window collision kit. Here's the important thing. It's the phone number and the urging you to call as soon as possible for our contest, so we'll have time for it. 781-837-4900 is the number to call. Once again, it's 781-837-4900. Please do call us as soon as you can for the contest right here. Meanwhile, we're going to check in with Mike O'Connor. It's Let's Ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
Squirrels have one mission in life: eat your birdseed. They hang, they swing, they stretch, climb, and plot their next move. For squirrels, your bird feeder is the ultimate prize. But now, they've finally met their match. Introducing the Squirrel Buster Evolution. When a squirrel climbs onto the feeder, its own weight automatically closes access to the seed, stopping the theft instantly while birds continue to feed comfortably. No batteries, no tricks, no complicated setup. Just smart, proven squirrel-proof technology that works day after day, season after season. That's why the Squirrel Buster Evolution was named Best New Birding Product of 2025 by the Wild Bird Feeding Institute. So let the birds enjoy the feast, and let the squirrels keep trying. Look for the Squirrel Buster Evolution at Brome.com or at your local bird shop.
Well, today's Let's Ask Mike segment may be kind of short because we're talking about inchworms. Rim shot there. Good morning, Mike.
Ah, inchworms. That's right. We're talking inchworms today, and it seems funny to say, but this is the baby bird season, and the birds are feeding their babies. So I want you, especially you city people who are always in a hurry, to slow down while you're on the road the next month or so, because I know this doesn't make any sense, but birds are actually more likely to be in the road than any other time of the year. And I'll explain that the birds like orioles, catbirds, warblers, cardinals are all feeding their babies, and they going to the oak trees in particular, but not native trees, but oak trees in particular, gleaning them for inchworms. Now, inchworms, the moths lay their eggs on the bark of the tree in the winter, and then in the spring, these eggs hatch out, and they produce these little tiny caterpillars or worms. They're not these giant caterpillars that everybody's afraid of, but they're indeed about the size of an inch, and the birds go out of their way to look for those. They time their egg production and their nestlings for when these hatch out. And in my yard, I have a chickadee nest, and I just sit all day and watch the chickadee fly out of the box across the yard into the oak tree. 15 seconds later, flies right back with a mouthful of inchworms to feed the babies. And in one study, they counted something like 9,000 trips with inchworms back and forth from one chickadee nest. 9,000 inchworms. That's how important they are. I didn't count that many. I tried, but I lost count, about 12. but that's what. Now, what does that have to do with driving? Well, when the inchworms, after they're done eating the leaves, they spend the rest of the summer underground. So they kind of propel themselves or repel themselves down with like spiderweb thread from the trees to the ground, and then burrow underground. And what happens in my neighborhood, and I'm sure a lot of neighborhoods in this time of year in the spring, the inchworms come down on the threads, but they land on the road because a lot of trees go over the road. And when I go to work, when I hang up this phone, I'm going to drive to work, and there'll be catbirds and orioles and robins all out in the road picking out these worms. And everybody's in a hurry, but you have to slow down because the birds are totally focused on the worms right now, and they've got kids to feed, so they're kind of playing chicken with cars. So you got to give them a break this time of year, and that's the other reason why, because the worms live underground and then they go up in the trees. It's good to have oak trees. It's good to have native trees. It's more important to keep your yard natural. You know, all my neighbors, they spray everything, and they don't have any birds in their yard. But the people who have natural yards like me, they have healthy oak trees and full of worms, And I got a lot of birds nesting in my yard right now. So keep your yard natural and drive a little bit slow on your way to work or to church or wherever you're going today. And be careful of the birds for the next couple of weeks, and then you can drive crazy.
Couple of weeks, then you can put the metal to the head, the pedal to the metal. Something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
it.
All right, Mike. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, you were going to say talk to you next week, I think. And that's what we'll do. Mike O'Connor at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod. Sorry to be stepping on you again there, Mike.
The Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, celebrating its 90th anniversary, hosts 5-night immersive educational programs for adults, teens, and families. Through these sessions, taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists, Hog Island campers deepen their relationships with the birds and the ecosystems around them. For more information, full camp details, and other program offerings, visit audubon.org/Hog Island. That's audubon.org/Hog Island.
We're back to the Mystery Bird Contest is where we are here with not much time to go. Where is that bird? There it is. 781-837-4900 is the number to call. We have beautiful prizes, including the Birding by Ear course from Larkwire, that highly customizable game-based courses with ID tips from some of the world's best birders. And from Plain Products, that 4-piece travel set, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and body lotion. Our mystery bird, a small migratory songbird that breeds only in the oak juniper woodlands in the south central part of Texas, kind of in honor of our guest from Texas, Hugh Leake, on our show today. The male has a bright yellow face with a black eyeline and a black throat, a black back and wings with a single white wing bar. Female similar, but with subdued plumage, just a few black throat feathers. What is that mystery bird? Larry has an idea. What do you think, Larry?
How you doing?
Good, Larry. How are you?
It's great. It's a western meadowlark.
A western meadowlark. Let's see what our instrumentalists have to say about a western meadowlark. That didn't seem to come through, Larry. Western meadowlark. But you know what? We're getting close to being out of time. So, Larry, I want to give you another chance to win something here, because I'll give you a bonus question if you'd like.
Okay.
We've heard for a long time that some bird species might be able to detect the Earth's magnetic field to help them navigate on their journeys through magnetic particles in their beaks. But some really new research with pigeons, homing pigeons in fact, suggests they may actually be using iron-rich immune cells called macrophages. Where? In their body. A, in their eyes. B, in their feet. Or C, in their livers. It's actually one of those places. What do you think? Any idea that you might just kind of lean toward there, Larry?
I'm going to say the eyes.
The eyes seems like a perfectly logical thing. And in fact, we've read some stories, or I should say some studies, that indicate exactly that. But this newest research says homing pigeons may navigate using iron-rich immune cells that sit close to nerve fibers in their livers and help them navigate, especially in cloudy conditions. Fascinating stuff. But Larry, thank you so much for calling. And before we forget, I want to identify the mystery bird, the golden-cheeked warbler. And by the way, we're going to talk more about that science story we just we talked about there, about the magnetic thing, in a Science Corner report with our Debbie Bleacher on our next show. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Brome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, Visit audubon.org/Hog Island.